What's good, y'all? So we are 3 days into free agency, and a lot of the big name free agents are already signed. They found their new homes or found their way back to their homes that they had last season. So since a lot of the big names have already signed their new contracts, I wanted to talk about the best and the worst free agent classes this offseason so far. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that like button on this video. I'm going to be dropping a whole lot of content all throughout the offseason, all throughout the regular season, all throughout the postseason. Just a lot of basketball, NBA content coming your way. You don't want to miss it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Starting off with the best free agent classes, I'm going with the Phoenix Suns here. They had very little money going into free agency, but they made it count. They signed Drew Eubanks, Keita Bates-Diop, Chumezi Metu, and Yuta Watanabe to new contracts, while also re-signing Josh Okogie and Damian Lee. If you guys watched my reaction to the Bradley Beal trade, I was very skeptical about this Phoenix Suns team because they were so top heavy in cap. I thought they were not going to be able to fill out their roster with quality role players with the money they had left. It was going to be very difficult, but they proved me wrong. They signed some very decent guys to be playing around Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, DeAndre Ayton. They have a lot of that star power offense, a lot of their offense coming from those four guys, specifically those three guys besides DeAndre Ayton. But these guys around to just sit in the corner, catch and shoot threes, play some defense, just the little things like that, they signed those guys. In the Bradley Beal trade reaction video, I specifically said they needed to re-sign cheap guys like Josh Okogie and Damian Lee to their team because those guys, they play great defense, or at least Josh Okogie plays great defense. Damian Lee shoots the ball really, really well, and they got both those guys back on minimum contracts. I thought Josh Okogie would maybe get a little bit more than a minimum. Maybe I was just hyping up his value a little too much, but still, both those guys, minimum contracts, bringing them back, amazing. And then also being able to bring in Keita Bates-Diop, who for the San Antonio Spurs shot the ball very, very well from three-point range. He's also a great defender. He's got size. He can play the three, play the four. He's very versatile wing right there for the Phoenix Suns, and I think he's a perfect fit for them. And then probably my favorite signing of them is the Yuta Watanabe contract. On a minimum contract, getting him, who was one of the best three-point shooters last season. Again, he's got length as well. Not the best defender, but still, he has the length to run the three or the four, depending on how small you want to get. I'm sure Kevin Durant hit his phone and was like, yo, Yuta, you played your best ball when you were hooping with me. Come pull up, come do that again, we'll sign you to a minimum and then you can build your value up from there. I assume that's how that conversation went because I don't know how Yuta got a minimum contract, especially with how, high of a value three-point shooting is in today's NBA. I think he deserves probably more than a minimum, but hey, it's a steal for the Phoenix Suns. And they did lose Jock Landale, who was great for them in the playoffs. He signed with the Rockets for a big bag. I understand why they couldn't re-sign him. But to mediate that, they got Drew Eubanks, who can play some great center minutes. Chumezi Metu, he's more of a power forward, but still, those bigger guys getting that depth down there for them. I think overall an amazing offseason, or amazing free agency so far for the Phoenix Suns after that Bradley Beal trade. They proved me wrong. They're going to be disgusting next season. And the second team I wanted to highlight for having a great free agent class was the Los Angeles Lakers, bringing in Taurean Prince, Gabe Vincent, Cam Reddish, and Jackson Hayes, while also being able to re-sign Rui Hachimura, D'Angelo Russell, and Austin Reeves. I do want to give my props to Rob Pelinka and those guys, making all the moves for the Lakers, because this would not have happened if they didn't decline Malik Beasley's team option and then also waive Mo Bamba. That opened up like another $30 million in cap space to allow them to sign all of these guys. First off, I did not expect for them to be able to bring back Rui, Austin, and D'Lo. All three of those guys back, I was not expecting. I thought there's no way you have enough money for that. But that Austin Reeves contract is an absolute steal. He's making less than $15 million a year. He's making way less than Rui Hachimura. I know I said I think it's more important that they signed Rui Hachimura over Austin Reeves just because his, scoring off their bench and through the playoffs, he was really, really good. Still, though, I would imagine that Austin Reeves had a higher market than Rui. I guess I was wrong, though. They got him on a bargain deal. I don't know if that's like the LA discount, the LeBron discount, I don't know what kind of discount it was, but it's a big discount that they got. Also, D'Lo came back on a very, I would say it's a fair trade, or a fair contract for him. Very team friendly while also still making sure that he gets taken care of. And then again, Rui, that 3-year contract, he made a little bit more money than I would expect, but either way, he's back on this team, and those three guys on offense for the Lakers were super important throughout the regular season and the playoffs. To have those three back is incredible. And then they built upon that as well. They did lose Dennis Schroeder. He signed with the Toronto Raptors. but they got Gabe Vincent to replace that. That's at minimum a net even between them. You know, Gabe Vincent, he's a little smaller than Dennis Schroeder, but Dennis Schroeder isn't the biggest guy either. He competes on the defensive side of the ball, can shoot the ball incredibly when he is on. His playmaking's there, just a real big competitor. And the Lakers get him for about $11 million a year is not bad at all. And also Taurean Prince on a super cheap deal, 1 year, $4.5 million for him. I know personally because when the Timberwolves versed us and he did not miss from three, spoiled Julius Randle's almost 60-point game. He can still play. He's a great wing defender to get depth there. He'll be coming off their bench, again, shooting threes, playing defense, you know, just doing the little things like that. I think that's a very big pickup for them. They also signed Cam Reddish, which, I mean, former Knicks, shout out to him. I'm kind of just up in the air with Cam Reddish. I know that the Knicks mismanaged him a lot, but still, in Atlanta, he couldn't really find a footing. He was only in Portland for half a season, so I don't want to give him too much slack on that, but, like, I'm just wondering when it's going to stop being, oh, the team is hurting him, and when it's going to be Cam Reddish, you got to just lock in and do your thing. I think this Lakers team allows him to just be able to lock in and shoot threes, just really practice your threes. If you can hit some catch and shoot threes, you'll get playing time for the Lakers. And then also, lock in on defense. Super athletic, he's got length, great size, and things like that. For the Knicks, he was a pretty good defender. He's got to continue that. Just get yourself on the map as a defender. Do what Dennis Smith Jr. did, basically, where he came back into the league and just locked in on defense. And that's what Cam Reddish has to do to play for this Lakers team. And then the last signing that they did so far was Jackson Hayes. I like this move a lot because it allows them to run someone that is not LeBron James as your backup center, you know, get some more size there, and then also, God forbid, Anthony Davis goes down with injuries as he has been prone to do. You have an actual 7-footer, or he might be 6'11". You have an actual size, though, at the center position instead of just LeBron James. Now we're going to pivot to the worst free agency classes, and that is going to start off with the Trailblazers. As you see, they signed Jeremy Grant to a monster 5-year, $160 million contract. That is on average $32 million a year. And then to make matters even worse, very shortly after that, Damian Lillard finally requested a trade from the Portland Trailblazers. So I, like many of you probably, when I saw that notification that Jeremy Grant got that monster extension, the first thing that went in my mind was, okay, I guess Dame is for real staying, because why would you offer him that contract if he's not? And then the second thought was, damn, that is a shit ton of money for Jeremy Grant. And it's not even like it's one of the other big deals, like the overpays so far in this offseason, like the Bruce Brown deal for the Pacers. He got a 2-year, $45 million contract. It's a lot of money for Bruce Brown, but it's a 2-year contract. In 2 years, if it doesn't work out or whatever, hands clean, wipe it off, cut it off. He's not on your team anymore. Jeremy Grant is going to be making $32 million for the next 5 seasons. I can very much see this becoming the next Tobias Harris contract where, you know, he's a great player, but not for how much money he's making. You know, the money outweighs the talent, and it's just not worth it to have it on your team when you're trying to compete for a championship. And then, like I said, it makes it even worse that Damian Lillard requested a trade right after they offer this contract. So now they have to give him the money, even though if Dame requested before they offered, they probably wouldn't have given him that much money at least. And then the reason they are on this, even though I do think it's the best thing for the franchise to trade Dame, is I don't really know what they're going to be getting back. Dame said he only wants to play for the Miami Heat. They don't want Tyler Hero, so they're looking for a 3-team trade. I've heard maybe some rumors that Tyler Hero to the Spurs, but I don't know what the Trailblazers would get back that they want for that. Maybe Keldon Johnson, but still, I don't know if they're going to be doing that for the Spurs. I don't know what they're getting back for Damian Lillard that's going to be of value for them. And now with that contract on their team, yeah, they have a great young core on their team right now, but going forward, that contract could make things hard to build. And then what they get back for Dame might not be as much as what us fans thought. Overall, could be a very shaky offseason for the Trailblazers. Next up is the 76ers, who is a team that, in my opinion, is having a very low-key, terrible offseason. Their only signing so far is Pat Bev on a 1-year, $3 million deal. And then, of course, James Harden, he accepted his player option but requested a trade, so he will not be playing for them next season. Not many people are talking about the 76ers, that I've saw at least, but they are having a disasterful offseason so far. The only team that I've seen that has serious interest in James Harden is the Los Angeles Clippers, and I don't really think they have too much that the 76ers would want that would keep them in that top tier in the East. I've seen trades where it's like Robert Covington, Norman Powell, and Nick Batum, or Marcus Morris or something like that with draft picks. That is not making the 76ers a good team. I guess I shouldn't say a good team. It's not making the 76ers better. And then on top of that, their only free agent is Pat Bev, who is nice. He's good to have as some depth. But right now, it's looking like he might have to start next to Tyrese Maxey. They also lost George Niang, who was a very big shooter for them. That also kills their depth a lot. Depending on what they get back from this James Harden sign and trade, if I'm Joel Embiid, I might be seriously questioning my future in this organization. I'm not saying he's going to request a trade this offseason, like right here, right now. But let's say they do that Clippers trade. They get back Nick Batum, Norman Powell, and Robert Covington. And then throughout, it's about halfway through the season, and the 76ers are maybe like the 6th seed or something like that, the 5th seed. I could very easily see Joel Embiid requesting a trade, hopefully to my Knicks. That would be beautiful. But, either way, for the 76ers, if Joel Embiid requests a trade, it's over. You're in a very bad situation right there, and back to trusting the process and the rebuild. And I doubt that's what fans are looking for. And then last but not least, just a quick little thing about the Rockets. I know a lot of people, if you polled the general public, they would probably say the Rockets had the worst offseason. In my opinion, though, it's not terrible. They were under the cap $65 million. They had to pay $65 million out this direct season. Now, could they have done shorter, more expensive, shorter contracts like the Bruce Brown for Pacers? Yes, they could have. But instead, they extended it a little bit long. I don't think any of these contracts are horrible. The Fred VanVleet one, that's a lot of money for Freddie. Don't get me wrong. $43 million for Freddie is a lot. But I don't think it's as bad as people are making it out to be. Dillon Brooks making $20 million. Again, not that bad. Evan Fournier right now is making $17 million. It's just the market is different. People expect these guys to still be making like $5 million when that's damn near the minimum nowadays. It's just inflation, guys. Come on. Let me know who you guys think had the worst free agency so far, though, in the comments down below. Also, let me know what you think about your favorite team's free agency. Me personally, for the Knicks, we got back Josh Hart was player option, which is cool. We got Dante DiVincenzo, so, shout out to him. We also traded Obi Toppin, though. I'm a big Obi fan. I have his jersey. It's what's best for him, but it's bittersweet because he's leaving my team. Overall, though, I'd say we have a pretty good offseason. Leave in the comments what you guys think about your team. In the description, there's links to all my social medias, so make sure you follow me on all those to keep up to date with me. Catch y'all.